It's raining, it's pouring, the Orioles keep on scoring. Hey, I know that's super cheesy. It's after midnight and I gotta wake up in 3 hours to go to work. But hey, good news, the Birds took game one against the Cincinnati Reds. They were able to weather the weather delay, get the W, and welcome to the show, Jordan Westburg. We'll talk about it after this. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Hey, Bopst here, and I'm happy to announce that the Birds took game one against the Cincinnati Reds. That's a huge W, 10-3. They did get the game pushed back, starting pitch at 7:20, so by 15 minutes. They were able to work through almost 3 innings before the clouds opened up. Hour and 30, hour and 45-minute weather delay, and then they were able to get the ball game through. But we'll sit here and talk about it real quick. Some interesting facts. I had found out that it had been 3,217 days since the Orioles last hosted the Cincinnati Reds, which is pretty amazing if you think about the close proximity of the cities, geographically speaking. For it to be that long is pretty insane, especially the history of those two ball clubs. So I just thought that was a really interesting statistic. And then obviously, like I said, Jordan Westburg gets called up. He ends up playing second base, get another right-handed batter in for the left-handed pitcher Williamson. And, we'll talk about it. The kid made himself known. I mean, he was a factor in the ball game both offensively and defensively. So it was a pretty cool first day for him. He's in the books, 1-0 as an Oriole, and he made himself known. He was a factor. So top of the first, Cole allows a leadoff double. It literally just missed clearing the fence. Orioles starting pitchers have been getting touched up a lot, and Cole Irvin is one of those guys who he's really got to spot his stuff in order to be effective. And early in the game, he threw a lot of waist high. It seemed like everything was waist high. Curveballs, sliders, fastballs. It was just like BP, and they were touching him up. And if it wasn't for Ramon Urias's glove down the third base line, it could have been a lot worse just getting out of the top half of the first. But he allows that leadoff double. McLean ends up popping out to Santander out in first base. And then India singles on a liner to left with 2 strikes. So you got runners on the corners. Cole ends up striking out Ellie, which was pretty impressive. He actually he didn't do much until the end of the ball game. And then Steer hits a 2-out single to left. So the runner scores. Next thing you know, Reds are already up 1-0. And like I said, Cole Irvin was throwing batting practice balls in the first. I mean, everything was it was extremely hittable. And they were starting to touch him up. So Urias makes an incredible play to save 2 runs by Robin Senzel on a shot down the third base line. So, the game could have started out very differently if it wasn't for the defense behind them. And because they were hitting everything stinking hard. And fortunately, we were able to get out of that just down 1-0. So, bottom of the first, Hayes flies out to right. Adley works a 10-pitch walk. So, obviously he just had that day off. He's coming back. Adley had a good AB. He was able to work that 10-pitch walk. And then, unfortunately, Santander flies out to center field. Hicks works it full, but then he ends up getting K'd. And the good news is that at that point, Williamson had already thrown 25 pitches. So they made him labor. 25 pitches in, they kind of, they get out of the first down only 1-0. Well, Irvin comes out and he goes 1-2-3 in the top of the second. So then bottom of the second, Ramon gets robbed by Friedel on a caught liner to center, and then it just starts to rain. I mean, that's when you can start to see it on the TV. I mean, it's starting to come down. Sed ends up K'ing on a pitch that's outside the zone, and then Jordan Westburg's first AB. So the kid took some stinking really close pitches that he potentially kind of got rung up for, but what he showed is that he's got a really good eye for the baseball, and that's something that seems like AAA Norfolk is really instilling in these guys, just the minor league system in general. You know, they're really seeing the ball well. And he ended up working a full count walk, or a full count before getting walked. And he really had a great AB. So this is when, like I said, it really started to come down. And Reds manager starts calling timeout because of the playing conditions, you know, because the water is starting to accumulate up on the field. Well, McKenna ends up walking, and then Williamson throws 2 more balls before drawing a mound visit from their pitching coach. And it was really starting to be hard to tell if it was the rain or if he was just losing control. So then Mateo runs the count full before getting walked. So next thing you know, Williamson has walked the 7, 8, 9 hitters. So now the bases are juiced for Austin Hayes, and he hits a screamer to right center, and Jordan Westburg scores his first run in the major leagues, and Austin Hayes puts the O's up 2-1. So it was a super good hit, and it was a lot of good ABs to get those bases juiced as Williamson was struggling with his command. And by the second, he had thrown 25 in the first and 39 pitches in the first, so his pitch count was already getting up there anyway. So top of the third, once again, Irvin goes 1, 2, 3. So he's really starting to settle in, and it's unfortunate that the rain delay happened, because it would have been nice to see him go a couple more innings if he could, you know, just to see what he can do, because he's fighting for that 5th spot. And I think that he pitched well enough in the second and third to where you got to keep him in the rotation and give him another shot, because he was going to obviously come out for the 4th, because he really did start to settle in. So bottom of the third is when it started to rain. Game goes into a weather delay. Hicks is at bat with an 0-2 count at 8:22 p.m. And like I said, it was about an hour 45 minutes before they came back out and resumed play. So the Birds ended up scoring 2 more in the third. They scored 3 in the 5th, and they also scored 3 in the 7th. So just a little box score. Ramon, when he went 2 for 5 with 2 runs and a ribby. Aaron Hicks went 0 for 2 with a run, but he did draw 3 walks. Ryan McKenna went 1 for 2 with 2 runs. He also drew a walk. Jorge went 0 for 2 with a run, but he had 2 walks. And the Birds, I mean, they drew, I think it was 8 total walks, maybe 9. I mean, they were really seeing the ball well, and they were making Cincinnati pitch to him. Jordan Westburg, in his first game as a Baltimore Oriole up in the big leagues, he went 1 for 4 with a ribby and a walk, and he also scored a run. Anthony Santander's continued his hot streak. He went 2 for 5. He had 2 runs. Adley broke out of an 0 for 16 by legging out a single, and then he had a 2 RBI base hit later in the ball game. I think that was in the 7th. So it was nice to see Adley kind of get out of that funk and put some good wood on the baseball. And then Cedric Mullins also had a couple of base knocks to knock some of the rust off of him. And then Austin Hayes had 3 ribbies on a 2 for 5 night. So, like I said, the Birds, they got the W, man. Game 1, they won 10-3. It's a very big first game. It's good that they were able to get that game in, because tomorrow there's some inclement weather that's supposed to be arriving as well. So the game may be getting pushed back a little bit later, kind of like tonight. But, hey, the Birds are already 1-0 in this series. So they got 2 games in order to try to take this thing. And, we'll see what Wells can do tomorrow on the Hill, and see if the Orioles can keep this up. So the Birds are on a 3-game winning streak, and now the Reds are on a 3-game losing streak after they won 12 in a row. So they're going to be looking to right the ship, but Baltimore needs to continue to do what they're doing. Once again, 48-29. They do gain half a game on Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay didn't play today, and they're only 4 games back, man. So exciting time to pull for the Birds. we should be really excited about this. So, hey, check this out. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. And let me know what you think about how the Birds are playing. Let me know what you think about Jordan Westburg's debut. I think that it went pretty well. And I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about it and where the Birds are. So, hey, tomorrow, 7:05, Tyler Wells will be on the hill. Birds will try to go ahead and take this series in Game 2. And we'll see what they can do. Great ball game. Go Birds.